Something unique about me is that as a light healer or an earth angel, you might call them, um, we are mirrors for all the darkness and all the people that approach us with their darkness. And people don't like that. They don't like to see themselves. And it's because their whole life they've been running away from that reflection. They've been using substances or intimacy unsafe to escape their life and their pain. And instead of looking inwards, that's what they're doing because all they've known is chaos, and that's comforting to them. So, when you're a super mega empath or an earth angel or a heyoka, as they call it in the indigenous term, it means the sacred clown. It means that you lift people's spirits up, and that's why they call it that. You are naturally inclined to kind of dish back to the narcissist what they do so they can see themselves more clearly. Because a lot of people don't do that with manipulative people. They just kind of like, want to get away from it and not like cause any problems. But when you're a super mega empath, um, that's what I call it anyways. You just kind of like instinctively do that without knowing. And I was doing that when I was like 16 years old. And I called myself a player, but like I'm not that in my soul. That's just kind of like the phase that I went through where I was like doing to men what they do to women, which was, sleeping with as many like hot guys as I could, like the hottest guys, saying they're just like notches on my belt and like sleeping with virgins, um, and just playing, games with them, like one night stands, like just doing all the same exact stuff that men are so notorious for, that men are taught by the world that they want to do. And here's why I'm telling you this stuff. You know what I learned from doing that was that I wasn't satisfied. It wasn't filling anything for me. In fact, it made me feel more empty. And so, for all the men out there that might be watching, like, that is how you're gonna feel at some point. Um, it's not really genuine to who you are, and you have been purposely deceived because the more that we're separated between gender and culture, all of us as humans, the more that these monsters doing this to all of us have kind of like have us eating in the palm of their hands, That's the real reason that there's so much pushed messages to get the men to keep women in line. Like, men don't even subconsciously, or I mean consciously, understand why they're doing this, but like, they don't want us to wear certain things, have our hair a certain color, even our nails. Like, honestly, at that point, like, that's sounding really gay to me that you care that much about such such little details, It's sounding like you want to wear and do those things yourself, because like, no one does that. No one that is healed is gonna like tell you what your nails and clothes should look like. That just, that really seems like something a gay man would do. Um, and that's the other thing, is that when you are sleeping around with a lot of women, that should tell you something, like you're not getting satisfied. And it's because you probably prefer to be with a man. So instead of judging yourself like we were all taught to do for that side of ourselves, um, listen, let me break it down for you, because I know some of you might be watching that are like religious. Okay, I used to be as well. But when I had my own experiences with Jesus, I learned a lot about how different he is compared to what all of the religions teach him to be like. And in the indigenous terms, they call gay people or androgynous or trans, they call them two soul. And it means you have a divine feminine spirit and a divine masculine spirit in one body. So naturally, if that's how God made you, you're going to be attracted to boys and girls, you know? And that might not be all of you, but for people like me, like I'm a two soul. And so I do have an attraction to both genders, but it's actually like I'm more attracted to people's souls, you know? And I'm not really like an intimate person. Like I don't seek that stuff out. But I had to get true to myself and like find that because I thought that what I was supposed to be seeking in life, like all these typically men think, is that they're supposed to get with as many hot people as they can and play games with them and have no love involved. And I promise you, like, that's not what you're looking for. And I know a part of you believes what I'm saying because you do feel that emptiness right now. Or you even just notice that you're doing it to like escape your life and you're not doing it to fulfill your life. And let me tell you what, men hate it when you play those mind games with them just as much as women do. And what I'm saying is that when you treat men the way that they treat you, they show you that they also don't like it, and it validates why you shouldn't either.